Ba-da-dee, ba-da-dum. Hello, hello, hello. I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and thank you very much for tuning in to, hey, are you listening? That's it. Are you listening? Today's episode, today's show, I want to discuss actually something interesting. I've been watching a lot of shows lately, and it's just come to mind in near, I don't know, recent future, or recent past, or recent times. I've been thinking about, well, are we the only creatures, only beings on, I don't know, this planet or in this universe or in this galaxy or whatever you want to call it? I mean, can we possibly be the only one? Because honestly, if we're the only living life forms in this whole entire existence, that's pretty bad. Because we're pretty much, I'm sorry, take it as you will, the lowest common denominator. I don't know. Hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan. And, you know, like always, lots of thoughts, lots of ideas. But as I sit back and, as you know, I people watch. And that's part of, you know, why I decided to go in the direction of the Are You Listening podcast, because, well, I like to observe things. And people watching, it's pretty scary. I mean, it's enlightening at times and it's inspiring at times when I see a lot of the good that happens in this world and the way that some people can be with a certain level of integrity and higher standards than most. And I got to applaud that. I really do applaud that. But then I see the lower denominators, I don't know, it's like the sludge of humanity. I see people little to no respect for themselves, degrading themselves to the lowest possible form in order for either attention or for monetary gains. And it's just sad, really is sad. Seeing some of the things that people do, their actions, the way they treat each other. And it's pathetic. It really is. Seeing these scams that people pull, the crimes that they commit, the way they hurt each other, the way they take from each other, the way they have little to no empathy for anybody else. And they feel that they're justified because they do without. Well, you know, you can't make an honest living. You can't do things right. You can't do things the right way. It's just going to take effort. It's going to take effort, my friends. And if you're going to take the cheap way, then cheap is what you're going to get. All right. Your actions dictate who you are, your character and your lack of integrity or your level of integrity, whether it's you have integrity or don't have integrity. But, you know, you can't call it survival from taking from anybody else. Okay. You can't call it survival. It's not survival. It's called being freaking lazy is what it is. Okay. So I guess you're asking yourself, okay, Matt Morgan, what's the topic for today? What are we talking about in today's episode? Oh yeah, plain and simple. Yep. And I guess this is the question I'm going to put out there to, I guess, little green men, little gray men or women or species or beings or whatever that I strongly believe are actually on Earth, just trying to keep themselves, you know, mind their own business and stuff like that. But hey, are you listening? Because if you are listening, come pick me up. Seriously, come pick me up. I'm tired of this planet. I'm tired of this BS. I'm tired of the stupidity and the lack of empathy for each other, the lack of caring and kindness and everything else for each other on this planet. Yeah, come pick me up. I'm tired. I want to be enlightened. I want to evolve. I want to know about the universe. And obviously, educated, enlightened, balanced, wholesome beings do not advance to that level of evolution and understanding unless they've put aside war, they put aside crime, they put aside hurt, they put aside murder, they put aside all these bad elements of psychopathic behavior that humankind can do to each other. They put all that aside. They've grown beyond that to the point where they're at now, where they have amazing technologies, amazing understanding of everything around them, whether it be this universe, galaxy, time, you name it, they got it down pat now because they've evolved to that point. We're still, as humankind still, we're in our infancy. We're infants. We are infants. We are nothing more than a 1 or 2 year old baby. Some of us even younger than that, you know, at least some of us are at least, you know, at the age of 5, as far as, you know, intelligence goes, mental maturity goes, you know, that kind of stuff. At least there are some of us that are a higher level that can look beyond petty crime and scams and hurting each other and all this stuff like that. All the negative elements that, you know, make humans, not everybody humans, but, you know, the scum of the earth, psychopathic humans, what they are. So it would just be nice to be at a level, I don't know, a lot much, just being in the mere presence of beings, of living organisms that seek knowledge and understanding to a greater scale and appreciate the value of life, learned how to stop the clock so they actually have more time to study and enlighten themselves and learn more about the universe. I mean, part of me thinks that we're an experiment. We are just some other alien species experiment. Earth was an experiment. And don't put a spiritual religious spin on this. I'm talking about we're just an experiment. We're like a petri dish. Here you go. Let's try and see what happens. Let's put all these elements in there. Let's put all these distractions and elements and possibilities and blah, 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 blah. And let's just shake up the hornet's nest and see what happens. And now we're seeing what happens. We're at the point where we've done such a piss poor job as a species of taking care of this planet and taking care of each other that we're on the verge of our own destruction because of our ignorance, because of our stupidity, because we value money and the mighty dollar, monetary gains above human life. Even those that are the richest, like, those oil monger friggin' Saudis out there that don't care about their own people. They don't care about their neighbors. They don't care about anybody else but spending money on completely stupid, useless things that frankly doesn't help humankind at all. And it's a shame. It's a shame when we put our selfish needs before the well-being of others. It's a shame that we have to take from others in order to make our lives more comfy and do less work. It is a shame that, this is where we're at. We're not evolved. I don't care how much money you have. If you have that kind of money and you're hoarding it all, and if you're disregarding the welfare of your neighbors and your own people, your own cousins, your own family, like if you can't even help people that are starving, that happen to be on the other side of your border because you won't take them in because, they're too much of an inconvenience and they're so low class, we're royalty now. That's pretty sad. I'm sorry. When you get all bent out, I hate these rich people that get all bent out of shape because, I'm rich and powerful and everything else. And how dare you say bad things about me? Well, sorry, calling out your BS for anybody. I'm not just talking about just them, but I'm talking about anybody calling out their BS for what they're blatantly doing. Just because, it's like that kid that that's being told something and they don't want to hear it. So they're putting their hands over their ears and going, nah, 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 to make noise so they don't have to hear it. It doesn't mean it's not true. When the rest of the planet sees what you're doing, no matter how much you try to convince the rest of the planet that, they're not, we're not doing, it's blatant. Here you go. You're worth trillions of dollars and you can't even give a roof over somebody's head and a warm meal that's, supposed to be of your same tribe, your same people, your same nationality. I mean, your same beliefs, and you can't even help them. See, that's just one prime example of why this planet is failing. And because that greed, that gluttony is based on killing the planet, because being in that position was gained because they're polluting the earth, selfishly polluting the earth to their own benefit so they can sit back and do whatever they want and feel all powerful and mighty. Meanwhile, you're killing your legacy because you have none, and you're killing the planet and you're killing everybody around you. And, it's no wonder why aliens don't want to, make themselves known and knock on our front door and say, hey, I mean, they're here. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm strongly convinced there's been enough evidence well over the last 50 years, in my lifetime at least. Even when you watch shows like The X-Files and other stuff like this, there's so many reasons why it makes perfect sense that aliens do exist for numerous things. It's not just a fairy tale. It's true. I mean, I've seen some interesting documentaries lately that proof positive. I mean, proof positive right there. Here you go. Here's the evidence. It's coming out now because stuff's becoming unclassified, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And they're making documentaries of it, making movies of it. It's not Hollywood anymore. It's not fairy tales. It's the reality. And I think our next wave is basically the aliens. And the only thing I can call them is aliens. visitors from other planets. I don't know what you want to call them, but they've probably been here as long as we have. Either way, they're more evolved than we are, more advanced than we are. We're no threat to them. As I said, we're in an infancy where they're like grandparents to us in comparison to experience and knowledges and enlightening and everything else. I mean, they are way ahead of us. We're not a threat to them, okay? We're not a threat to them. And frankly, if I were them, I would look at it logically, which is usually the way I look at a lot of stuff. I look at it logically and go, okay, let's get rid of the bad elements. Let's let the level-headed people that have heart and have empathy and have kindness and all this stuff like that and are hardworking. Let's get rid of everybody that's not in that category. Let's get rid of the psychopaths and the criminals and the drug users and all these people that are not a shining example for humankind. And let's get rid of them and let's help see where this planet can go with people that are, level-headed, because that would make sense. It really would. Failing that, though, hey, are you listening? And I'm going to say it again. Come pick me up. Because, I forgot to say, how is your integrity today? I know we're at the 12-minute mark heading into this, but how is your integrity today? How's your integrity been since I talked to you last in our last episode? Because, that's it. Integrity. Look up the word and I'll give you a hint. It just basically means doing the right thing when no one else is watching. I mean, I'm sick and tired of hearing these more and more scum of the earth criminals doing stuff. I heard this guy in Smith Falls that's, ripping off Cadillac converters. How do you live with yourself at the end of the day knowing that you just ruin like all these people's lives, making their lives a little more difficult, making it more expensive for them because you want a quick buck? In all honesty, you are the lowest denominator. People are struggling these days and you're going for a cheap buck versus an honest living. I hear stuff like that. And I hear scams. People are distracting people in parking lots to, steal stuff from their car or rifle through their car or, exploit them in some way. I mean, I hear this kind of stuff and I'm like, gee, a deep hole. That's all these people need. Grab these people, throw them in a deep hole and just forget about them because the planet doesn't need it. People don't need it. Humankind doesn't need it. I don't need it. I don't think anybody else does need it, to tell you the truth. Yes. So my little green friends, my little gray friends, I'm not even sure what color they are these days, but I don't know. My family from a different universe. I don't even know how you could say that. Anyways, my friends from beyond, or probably not that beyond because they're probably right in their backyards, but they're advanced enough they can be stealthy and stuff like that. If you're out there, please come pick me up. I would like to be enlightened and everything else and, get beyond the mundaneness and the basicness of and the ignorance of the human populace at this point. That'd be great. But back to this. You have to really think about the advancements in technology that have been happening in my lifetime. Leaps and bounds, if you think about it, over the last 30 years. 20 years? No, 30 years. Yeah. Leaps and bounds in the last 30 years. Think of the technology in the last 30 years. Just think about this one. Research it. 30 years. It's not that far off, but it's a lot that's happened. I mean, if you look about, there's some technologies that have been around a lot longer that we realize, like since electric cars were around in 1902 or something like that. So we had the concept at one point and stuff gets smushed because of greed and corporations and everything else. But I want you to specifically look at, and this is some evidence that might give you a little perspective as to where I'm thinking that we are actually, there's aliens and, there's visitors from other planets among us and everything else. But think of the technologies we've had. And with the technology that we've had and the advancements in the last 30 years, I think about where we were 30 years ago, and then I think about where we are today. It is a huge difference. Huge difference. Never would I really thought that certain things would be available, but at the same time, I'm not really shocked. And there's some technologies, and I'm just wondering why it took so long. But, the fact of the technologies that we have now and so readily available and disposable, I think is kind of interesting. You find homeless that have cell phones. What the hell? This is where technology has been. But let me explain that a little. I mean, I can go a lot of different directions on this one, but I mean, that goes hand in hand with the whole Big Brother thing. It just makes it easier for the powers to be that can even monitor their homeless. even control that part. We are basically volunteering our everyday lives and movements and everything else to the powers that be, which ultimately, I mean, it's not governments, but it's the owners. But is it really the owners? I think it might just be up the chain, might just be in cahoots and hand in hand with visitors from other planets. But let me retract that last statement, visitors from other planets, because maybe it's not visitors from other planets. Maybe this is their planet and we are just the added elements to the planet. The Earth is not necessarily the human species, home planet. We're just basically a creation from the actual original inhabitants of this planet and an experiment to see what could happen, which I truly possibly believe that could happen. All right. So think about it. Do some research. Do some Googling. See the technologies that are coming out in the last 30 years. We're talking from like 1993 till now, and a lot has happened in that time. But on the same token, I want you to think about something here. And this goes hand in hand with my other episodes. We're killing the planet way too quickly. We shouldn't be killing the planet at all. Ultimately, if we kill the planet, we kill ourselves. And you need to do something about it. We all need to do something about it. Because ultimately, at the end, there will be another living organism that will just take over the planet. Even when we're long gone, whether or not it's plants, whether or not it's animals, whether or not it's species, other humanoid type species, it won't really matter. But how much do you enjoy your staying on this planet? How much do you enjoy your existence? And, you might be in that part of the world where you don't have to go through natural disasters and, all the scary stuff that you only see in movies. You might not have to go through that because of where you're situated, but it will come to your doorstep sooner versus later. So you might want to, open your mind to a few things. Because I've heard some things, some of these documentaries that I've actually watched about aliens and close contact and all that stuff, or close encounters of the third kind, or whatever they want to call it. They've even relayed messages saying, hey, by the way, you're killing your planet. When a higher species says, hey, you better take care of your planet because you're killing it and you're going to end all life, you might want to take note of that. You might want to take heed and go, yeah, maybe we should listen to them because they're a lot smarter than us. Maybe we should do something about that. Furthermore, maybe we should actually take care of each other a little more. Maybe we should actually be kinder to each other a little more. Do you ever think about that, people? To you that's listening right now, think about this. Think about any negative things that you've done, negative things that you've said, and think about your impact on how that had on other people. And keep in mind, you are one small little link as part of the problem in the greater chain of things, okay? Negative and positive, they move forward. Energy doesn't stop. That's an energy, believe it or not. If you do negative, you do bad, it dominoes. And same with positive. And you are part of the problem. We're all part of the problem. It's just some of us are less of the problem than others. Some are very, very small amount of the problem because generally they do good things. They have integrity. They have honor. They have, respect for other people, respect for the earth. And they're less of a problem. I'm not saying they're perfect, but then there's others that are just the bottom feeders. They are just the leeches. They are just the I don't even know how low I can go with this. And honestly, at the end of the day, I would feel pretty crappy about myself if I was one of those people. If I felt it was okay to take from somebody else or hurt somebody else or, deprive somebody else from a sense of security and safety and life and all that stuff like that, it doesn't get you anywhere. You're not going to leave a legacy. You're not going to leave people remembering you, or you're not going to leave any mark on history other than the fact that you were one of the bad elements that held humanity back. You're not going to get a monument in the park. You're not going to get remembered by people, especially in a negative light. They're not going to remember you. You are statistically a bad part of what kept society back. And you might want to change that. Me, I try to change every day. I try to change for the better because I would love to live a long time to see if humanity gets it right. I would love to meet beings from other planets or even this planet, more advanced species than we think we are, and understand the mysteries of the universe. I think it would be awesome. I think it would be great. Might not be your cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea. I think it would be great. Talk with ET or whatever the case may be. I think it would be interesting to understand that there's more than our perspective of, more than our perspective of our Earth and our universe and the sky above us, the earth below us, and the seas. I believe there's so much more knowledge out there that we could learn from. And I believe there actually is beings that have actually understand it to a greater degree than we do. It's not science fiction. It's actually a reality thing. But we're not supposed to know what's going on over there. It's kind of like, how magicians want you to focus on the trick that's in front of you. It's the whole illusion thing, distraction. Focus here, look here, don't look over there, look over here. I'm thinking that's what they like to keep 8 billion of us on the planet looking over here where the main trick is going on and not see what's going on backstage. Like the Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain and stuff. They don't want us to know that. So with everything said and done, I don't know. Think outside the box is all I'm going to say. Keep your mind open to the possibilities that, you know what, there may be other species around other than on the human species. There may be alien species. And I welcome them because if they were hostile, they would have kicked our asses by now and we wouldn't be here. So keep that in mind. Try to have an open mind because I'm pretty sure if they ever decide to remove the intelligent, more advanced, evolved people, it would not be the ignorant assholes that cause problems for the world. I'm pretty sure those people would become fertilizer. Everybody else would actually be welcomed to go into a more advanced civilization than, the current, how can I say it, cesspool that Earth is. I know. The Earth has beauty as well as darkness, but I'm sick and tired of the constant fear and famine and strife and everything else that we have to go through, and it seems to be getting worse. Not the world I want to live in, folks. I want to be able to walk out my door at 3 o'clock in the morning naked and walk down the street and nobody think twice about it and get shown equal respect and security across the board. Call me weird, but that's basically how I would like to have a civilization that's so advanced that everybody has what they need. Everybody's happy. Everybody feels safe and secure. And I'm pretty sure there's alien species, alien races out there that have got that figured out. They seek logic and love and liberty over everything else. And none of the trivial, childish, ignorant stuff that we do in this world is even part of their society. But hey, again, my friends, wherever you are from other worlds or even this world, please come visit me. Let's talk. Anyways, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. I'm going to wrap this up. I really wanted to get this blurb out there, and I was just thinking about it, watching a lot of these documentaries and stuff recently, and I actually started watching the X-Files from the beginning. I know some generations don't know what that is, but I started watching because I determined to get onto series that I've been meaning to watch from the beginning to the end, and X-Files is one of them. But then I started watching documentaries, and there's just been more sightings lately. So, hey, you know what? My friends from wherever you are, more advanced civilizations, come visit me. Save me from this stupid planet and these stupid people. Anyways, yeah, I love some of you out there because you're good people and have integrity. The rest of them, go pound, what do they call it? Go pound mud or something like that. Do whatever you do. Float your boat, but, just stay out of my way and stay away from the good people. Okay, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Please check out themadmorgan.com. And if you're feeling saucy and feeling like the goat and feeling generous, please check out themadmorgan.com/support. Give us some love, or just tell your friends and family about us, and we'll get the ball rolling down the chain, down the line. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much for tuning in to today's episode of Are You Listening? And I will see you next episode. Until then, keep your integrity in check, take care of yourself, and just be nice to each other. All right, see you next show. Bye for now.